Hey everyone, it's David, and today's topic of the Daily D is fairness and equality. Yesterday, I was asked, it was election day 2020, I was asked a question that really sparked an idea within me that I thought I'd share with you. Now, this may somewhat sound political, but really it isn't political. It's really in my philosophy, my belief system, rather than it being an actual party, okay? So, first let's talk about equality. Well, let's just bring it out there, right? Equality and fairness. And before we get to that, I think the first thing I should tell you and what I believe is I believe that progress equals happiness. I believe we don't feel good about ourselves. We don't get up every morning. We don't do whatever it is that we do unless we are getting ahead, or at least we feel like it. See, that's the challenge with life, that trying to balance this, I want to do and have more, right, with what I'm doing today. And I believe when people feel the best, when they feel great, when they are doing the best they can, that's when happiness sets in. Now, imagine fairness and equality put into that equation. So imagine having the ability to do whatever it is you want to get ahead, but yet somebody tells you, well, even though you can get ahead, that's just not how the world was designed. It's designed to be fair and equal. And I would say, well, okay, well, let's talk about that. So first off, I firmly believe that everybody should have a fair shake, if you will, and we should all give each other the same, we'll call it the same opportunities. Now, there are going to be some instances where those can't happen. I know that for a fact. Obviously, there are people who are incapable and, mentally or physically. I'm not here to talk about those people because obviously I believe there's a right, our human right is to take care of those who can't take care of themselves. Children especially, people who really physically or mentally can't take care of themselves. I get it. But for the most part, most people are given an opportunity by the gift of life. And life has given you an opportunity to make the best of it, progress. And our job is to do something with that. And I believe that because I come from humble beginnings and I've seen what it takes to become progressive, if you will, to become a change agent in your world. And because I've seen that, I believe that it's possible for anybody. Now imagine, the most influenceable people you can influence are children. And imagine if you told your child, son or daughter, let's call him little David. Imagine if somebody came to me as a kid and said, little David, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go outside and I want you to cut all the grass and pull out the weeds and clean up the garage, and I'm going to give you $20. And David says, yes, let's go do it. So little David goes and cuts the grass and pulls the weeds and cleans the garage. They come inside and I give him a $20 bill. And so David gets that $20 and I say, okay, David, what do you want to do with that $20? Well, I want to go buy, an ice cream and some candy, and I want to get something new, and I want to buy something for mom and for dad. And then I said, wait a minute, before you do that, why don't we take that $20 and go give it all away? And David said, what do you mean? Well, yeah, we're going to go down, we're going to find somebody who is in need of this $20, and we're going to give it away. And little David says, well, I don't want to do that. Well, David, we need to do that because it's about being fair and equal, and because we have $20 and somebody else doesn't, we should at least share that with them. And little David says, wait a minute, I don't want to give away my money that I worked really hard for. Why not, David? Well, because I worked for this money. I did something to get it. I produced this money. Shouldn't I get to keep it? And I would say, but little David, that's not how the world works. It's supposed to be about fair and equal. So we need to share. So go give, you know what? Let's make it even better. Why don't we go give $1 to each one of your friends, 20 of your friends? But they didn't cut the grass, or they didn't mow the lawn, and they didn't pick the weeds or clean the garage. You see, David's learning a quick lesson that fairness and equality don't really work in the world, that he worked really hard to get something and he deserves to keep it. Now, can he give some of it away? Sure. But do you want to give it all away? No. You see, I believe that wholeheartedly. You shouldn't give it all away. You can give some away. You should donate some. You should contribute some. You should be charitable. You should be fruitful with your money, but you can't give it all away. Life isn't about equality. Life's about getting better and progress. What I just taught David is if he does really good and works really hard, what happens? Nothing changes. He's back to zero. You see, if he gives all his money away, he's back to zero. What did I teach David? That working hard really doesn't pay off unless, well, it doesn't pay off. Because you know why? He has to give it away. He's got to share it because it's about equality. It's about fairness. We both know that that's not a situation you want to teach your children, or I don't want to teach mine. I don't believe that equality comes from us being able to just say, hey, everybody should have the same amount of money and we should all just be fair. I believe equality isn't about being fair or equal. I believe equality is about everyone having the opportunity to have more. Now, some will take advantage of that. Some will be born into families that don't teach them those things, and some will be born into families that do. You know, there's always going to be a gap. But at the end of the day, it's not about us trying to make everything an equal world. It's maybe an equal playing field, but it can't be equality. I mean, why would anybody show up to work every day if they knew they couldn't do better for themselves and for their family? Why would you show up to work if everybody in your office made the same amount of money and got the same, let's call it awards or the same acknowledgement, even though they didn't do the same job, they didn't pull the same weight? You see, we're teaching our kids these things. We're teaching the world these things through sports, and everybody gets an award now. Why does somebody want to excel in a sport when you're going to get an award anyways? Why does somebody want to do good in the world when they're not going to get to keep the fruits of their labor anyways? You see, it's not about a party line or a way you vote or any of those things. It's more so progress. See, there's a lot of people out there who call themselves, let's call them Democrats and liberals and Republicans and conservatives. I don't believe there's a difference between parties. I believe we all probably have the same inherent belief of progress. Some are just willing to say it louder than others. Because I guarantee you, anybody who achieves any level of success by their nature defined as success doesn't want to diminish that success by saying, well, I've achieved so much, so I should just, share it with everybody. Because you know why? It's what about being fair and equal. Nobody's going to do that. Why is that? Because they've worked for it, because they earned it, and because they believe it's their right to keep it. Now, I believe it's our responsibility to work really hard to build and develop something that you can use as a tool for good to give back to those in need. And I believe the people in need, it's their responsibility to take whatever it is that somebody gives them and use that to create something bigger. Not everybody does that, but if they can, that'd be great. That's what scholarships are out there for. That's why there's grants and there's opportunities for families, because that's the actual system. It's created it. We've done it inherently. The democracy, the capitalistic democracy that we live in today has created this environment for us to spark each other by saying, I will do good deeds with the deeds that I've done good. So wherever this has touched you in some way, maybe it's offended you, whatever, just know this. I know you want more in life. And equality and fairness isn't about that. I don't believe it's about you, hey, you can't have more. I believe we should have more because we earn more. I believe we should do more because we deserve it. And anybody who would tell me that that's just not the way life is supposed to be, that we're all supposed to have health care, we're all supposed to have money in the bank, and we're all supposed to have the nice things, and we're all supposed to have a beautiful home. Yeah, we should all have the opportunity to have all those things, but it'll never be fair if we give everybody the same things. They would disincentivize, it would disenfranchise people from doing good in the world. It would push people to a place where we wouldn't want to have more, because why? It wouldn't matter if we worked harder or not. Why would people show up to work? Why would people take care of their health if everybody had health care? Why would people worry about anything? And why would you go to school if going to school didn't change the outcome of your income or change the outcome of your success? Why would you have a passion for doing anything if everything that you did equaled the same result? Nobody would do anything. we'd become a bunch of lazy people. We would become complacent. We would become a country full of entitlement, a country full of dependence. And our founders wanted us to be independent. That's why it's called the Independence Day, right? The day we became independent. The day we decided that it is our right to make decisions on our own. It's our right to be free. It's the Declaration of Independence, not the declaration of entitlement, not the declaration of I can go deeper, but I'm not going to. Just know this. It doesn't matter where you vote. It doesn't matter how you vote. Just remember that, or how you voted, rather. Just know that in order for us to get better as a country, regardless of what party wins anything, people have to have a reason to get up every morning. People have to have a reason to get up every morning. That's called progress. And if you take that away from people, if you push that agenda on somebody where they have no other alternative but to take whatever's given to them because it's equal, because it's fair, then what you've done is crippled a country. You've crippled a society. You've made them depend on a crutch, if you will. And that's not what I want to have in my life. I want to have more because I deserve more, not because I was entitled to deserve it, because I used the resources that were given to me to get them. Everybody has resources around them, and there's countless stories of how many people I can go on and on about people who started with nothing and got a lot, right? Who started with a little and got a lot of things, right? And became somebody and did something. And most politicians will tell you that. I started from nothing, a small town, hometown boy or girl, and I was against all the odds. I became this and this and this and this. Ask any of those guys, by the way, who are in this fair and equality stage in life, if they just give everything away, if going to school really mattered to them. Ask them that. Did going to Harvard change your life? It sure did. So should everybody go to Harvard? You answer that. Should everybody, have the opportunities that they did? Sure. Does everybody take advantage of them? No. Will anybody if they were given? Maybe. But some people will, some people won't. So what? Let's just continue on as a country. Okay? Worry about what it is that you can progress in today. Because taking care of the world it's not your responsibility. That's not our responsibility. I wasn't put on this planet to take care of everyone else. I was put here to take care of me and my family first. To serve God. To serve me, my wife, my family. And then to serve the communities with the abundance that I've produced. I hope you understand that. I hope this doesn't offend you, but if it does offend you, well, you know why. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.